If it's a Sunday afternoon at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, then the Weyburn Beavers must be in town. Good afternoon, Les Lazaruk with you from Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. As for a second straight Sunday to start the regular season, the Weyburn Beavers are here to take on the Saskatoon Berries, and we are seconds away from opening pitch. But it was last Sunday when the Beavers were here for the second game of a two-game visit to Saskatoon that they kind of turned their season around. They were 0-3 coming into last Sunday, came from behind a 6-0 deficit, and ended up winning, and now have won 4 straight coming into today as the first pitch delivered by Michael Saul, the starting pitcher for the Saskatoon Berries at 1 o'clock is down low, and ball 1 to the center fielder, Hugh Montgomery. Saul's second pitch hit back towards him through the legs and up the middle, fielded at short, and to throw on to first base. Good play by Brock Laird, who scored the winning run last night here against the Regina Red Sox in a Berries 3-2 victory. And so Montgomery grounds out for the first out. It'll bring up the left fielder, Joe Medill. Michael Saul pitched last Sunday against Weyburn. He wasn't the problem. It was late innings walks, hit batsmen, and errors that led to the Beavers' comeback as called strike on Joe Medill for strike 1. Saul in his 5 innings last week gave up just 1 hit, 1 run unearned, struck out 7 and walked 2. Changeup is outside, ball 1, 1-1. Saul throws a 4-seam fastball, cut fastball, changeup. He'll mix in a slider as well from out of Omaha, Nebraska. Right-hander delivers, swing and a miss, strike 2 on Joe Medill, who comes into the game hitting .333, 9 for 27 with a home run and 3 runs batted in. Left-handed hitting. Outfielder, slider, down low, 2-2. Medill from Nanaimo, BC. Attended his university at Cochise College in Arizona. Down low, full count now to Medill with Austin Boylan, the right fielder, on deck. Beavers will send their 3 outfielders to bat 1, 2, 3 to start the ball game against Michael Saul. 3-2 pitch fouled off at the plate. Count holds at 3-2. Defensively for the Berries, Eric Aguirre gets his first start in the outfield for Saskatoon. He's in right field. Nash Nichols is in center. Ethan Murdoch in left. 3-2 pitch is called strike 3 by home plate umpire Aaron Shavolt. 2 away. And it'll bring up Austin Boylan, the right fielder. Round the infield for the Berries, Nick Cote, first time at home getting action. He's the third baseman. Brock Laird at short, Nathan Houston's the second baseman. And at first base today for the Saskatoon Berries is Josh Henson, normally the third baseman. Called strike on Austin Boylan with the first pitch from Michael Saul. Local product Aiden Marion is behind the plate for the Berries. Slider up high, 1-1. Boylan hitting .292, 7 hits and 24 at-bats, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. He'll hit a line drive into right field. Aguirre comes across, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3. Top of the first inning for Michael Saul and the Saskatoon Berries. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base. After a half an inning, it is Weyburn nothing. And the Saskatoon Berries coming to bat as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Bottom of the first inning upcoming here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Saskatoon Berries will come to the plate with designated hitter Giles Salinas, second baseman Nathan Houston, and left fielder Ethan Murdoch to face Bill Hosegood, product of Radisson, just 45 minutes to the northwest on the Yellowhead Highway from here. Bill Hosegood, a University of Calgary baseball player in the collegiate season. He's pitched 2 innings this year. Doesn't have a record as of yet. An 18.00 earned run average. He's allowed 6 hits in those 2 innings, 4 runs all earned, struck out 3 and walked 1. Bill Hosegood gets the start today, right-hander. 5'9", 175 against Giles Salinas, who first pitch swinging hits a fly ball into right field. Tracking back Austin Boylan, he'll make the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. They'll bring up Nathan Houston. Houston did not play last night except for a pinch running appearance in the 9th inning last night. Of course, it was Brock Laird who scored on a wild pitch in front of Houston to give the Berries the 3-2 victory. Hosegood first pitch to Houston is up high with a fastball, ball 1. Houston hitting .381, 8 hits and 21 at-bats. All the hits are singles. He has an RBI to his credit for the Melville, Saskatchewan product. He'll hit this one, and it's hooking foul down the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Houston got around on that one and hit it well down the line. Ethan Murdoch on deck. Hosegood's delivery. Houston breaks his bat, and that's bobbled at third by Braden Mayencourt. He may have been distracted by the barrel of the bat that was broken, flying towards third base. It never did get to the skin of the infield where Mayencourt was. It stopped just short, but the bat exploded, and Mayencourt made a bobble at third base, and he'll be called an error on that. But the Berries have a man on base with 1 away, and now it's Ethan Murdoch. Houston with good speed at first. Change up to Murdoch first pitch. Down and in, ball 1. Murdoch 6th in the WCBL in batting average coming into this afternoon with a .471 average. 16 hits in 34 at-bats. Breaking pitch down low, 2-0. Those 16 hits for Murdoch are the most for any player in the WCBL. Hosegood with a toss over to check on Houston at first base. Murdoch, of course, from Swift Current. That's a called strike. Home plate umpire Shavolt waited a second before making the call. Matt Schul, the crew chief, is at first base as an umpire. Third base umpire, or the roving umpire, is Logan Nugent. There's a curveball that's in for a strike. And suddenly the count is even at 2-2 on Ethan Murdoch. Murdoch, of course, started his WCBL career as that's bounced in a full count. Murdoch started his WCBL career in 2023 with his hometown 57s. Played last year with the Berries, where he hit .325. And that's ball 4 up high. And so a walk will put runners on first and second as Houston was going with the pitch and just able to trot into second, as it'll bring up Josh Henson, who's playing first base today. Nick Stinson not in the lineup. Henson getting an opportunity. And he'll bat cleanup. Huntsville, Alabama product. Brock Laird is on deck. Osgood looking at the runner at second. Change up is in for strike one. Henson, 7 hits in 33 at-bats, 7 singles in 33 at-bats so far. 4 runs batted in for that .212 average. Houston dancing away from the bag. Osgood's pitch down low. Ball 1. Beavers second baseman Gunnar Ferguson coming towards the bag from time to time, trying to keep Houston close. And every time he gets close, Houston takes a couple of steps further towards third, almost daring Bill Osgood to whirl and fire. Swing and a miss by Henson on that pitch, 1-2, as that was a change-up. And already there is action down the left field line as Keaton Husband is warming up in the Swift Current, or in the Weyburn bullpen, I should say. Hometown boy Keaton Husband. 1-2 with 1 out and runners on first and second. Henson swings and misses. Strike 3. And it'll be Brock Laird, the shortstop, coming up, as there's now 2 away. Brock Laird scored the game-winning run last night. Walked with 1 away, advanced to second on a blue hit by Mason Gaines, and then came around to score on back-to-back wild pitches to Giles Salinas by Jake Fowler, the losing Regina pitcher. And that gave the Berries the 3-2 victory. Again, Ferguson near the bag at second. Houston dancing around. Fly ball Laird, straight away center field. Backing up, short of the warning track and making the catch is Hugh Montgomery, and that will retire the side. For the Berries in the bottom of the first inning, no runs, no hits. There was 1 Weyburn error and 2 runners left on base. After 1 inning, it is Weyburn nothing, Saskatoon nothing, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Ready to go at the top of the second inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, where it's clouded over. It was a glorious morning. Sunny for the most part, but we now have the clouds have rolled in, and according to Environment Canada, mostly cloudy conditions. A temperature of 21 degrees Celsius, 70 Fahrenheit, and wind out of the west at 16 kilometers per hour, blowing out towards right field. That's 10 miles per hour for the folks tuning in down in the States. Braden Mayencourt, the third baseman, the veteran player for Weyburn, plays everywhere. First pitch swing against Michael Saul, follows it back to the screen, and it's strike 1. Mayencourt, 5 for 25, hitting .200 with a home run and 6 RBI. Left-handed hitter at the plate. Saul bouncing a slider in there. Ball 1, 1-1. Braden Mayencourt from Surrey, BC. Attended Central Baptist College in Arkansas. Fouls this pitch off, and that's going to end up in the parking lot. Down the third base side, so 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Michael Saul as he blows away Braden Mayencourt with a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Colt Uphold Sussex now the batter for Weyburn. Out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Went to McPherson College in Kansas and takes a called strike on the first pitch from Saul. Colt Uphold Sussex hasn't played a lot. He'll hit this one on the ground to the right side. Snared by Nathan Houston with a diving play to his left. Gets up and throws him out. Put a gold star beside that play as Nathan Houston, ranging to his left, dives on the outfield grass, just in to the outfield, stabs the ball and throws out Colt Uphold Sussex with plenty of time to spare. It'll bring up Rob Gurney now, first baseman. He and Braden Mayencourt do some catching for this team, but both are playing in the field at the corner infield spots as Gurney looks at a ball down low, ball 1. Gurney hitting .300, 9 for 30. Has a home run and 6 RBI. Gurney, fooled by that pitch, swings and misses on a ball that bounced in front of home plate. 1-1 the count. Gurney is into his 4th season in Weyburn. 1-1 pitch. Slider outside, 2-1. Rob Gurney from Campbell River, BC. Attends Mayville State University in North Dakota. 2-1 pitch. Holds up on the swing, up high, 3-1. About 50 years ago when I was playing baseball, I had a couple of junior teammates that attended Mayville State. So a shout out to my buddies Kerry Candy and Randy Ladderbrook. There's a pitch in there for a strike, full count. They were a great battery for our Elmwood Giants team back in the days. Won 3 straight Manitoba Junior Championships. Candy is a pitcher, Ladderbrook is a catcher, and they both hit for darn good averages. That one's a slider down and away, ball 4, and that's the first base runner for Weyburn with 2 away. Gurney reaches on a walk. So now it's Ryan Weaver, the shortstop, coming up with 2 away. Weaver from Gilbert, Arizona, attends Eastern New Mexico University. He'll foul the first pitch back, a fastball from Saul to the screen for strike 1. Weaver 5 for 28. 2 RBIs off of the 179 average. Weyburn again 4-3. They started 0-3 against the Berries before winning last Sunday by a score of 9-8 here. Saul, swing and a miss on this 1 strike pitch, and Weaver's behind 0-2. The Berries had actually outscored the Beavers by a 38-9 count in the first 3 games. 0-2 pitch will hit Weaver on the inside, and that'll put a second runner on base as Gurney will move up to second. And it'll bring up Owen Mayencourt, brother of Braden from Surrey, BC, but he attends Big Bend Community College in Washington. And Owen Mayencourt is the catcher today for Weyburn. He's back for a second game, played 5 games with the Beavers. had a couple of home runs and 5 RBI in his brief stint last season with Weyburn. Right-handed hitter compared to brother Braden. There's a little looper that'll find its way into left field. Being waved home is Rob Gurney. The throw home will not be in time. It'll get away from Aiden Marion, but backing up is Michael Saul. And in to score is Rob Gurney. So a 2-out rally here for the Weyburn Beavers in the bottom of the second inning. Scores them their first run and puts them ahead by a score of 1-0. Owen Mayencourt with his third RBI, even though, not his third RBI, his first RBI, it's his first hit of the season in 3 at-bats. Ryan Weaver stopped up at second base, brings up the second baseman and number 9 hitter Gunnar Ferguson, who will look at strike 1. Saul trying to finish off the inning. Breaking ball hit on the air to left field. Murdoch is there, drifted back a couple of steps, makes the catch to end the inning. But Weyburn, with 2 outs, scored a run on 1 hit. There were no Barry's errors and 2 runners left on base. After an inning and a half, the Weyburn Beavers get on the board first. They lead the Saskatoon Berries by a score of 1-0 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Ready for bond on the second inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. The Weyburn Beavers scoring a run in the top of the second inning. Bill Hosegood back out to pitch. He'll face Eric Aguirre, the right fielder, Aiden Marion, the catcher, and Nick Cote, the third baseman for the Berries in the bottom of the second inning. Defensively for Weyburn, around the outfield, Austin Boylan's in right, Hugh Montgomery in center, and Joe Medill in left field. In the infield, left to right, Braden Mayencourt's at third base, Ryan Weaver at shortstop, Gunnar Ferguson is the second baseman, and Rob Gurney is at first base. Owen Mayencourt is the catcher, and again, Bill Hosegood is the starting pitcher for Weyburn. He'll face left-handed hitting Eric Aguirre, who in his debut last night for the Berries was 2 for 4, including a double against the Regina Red Sox. Hosegood's first pitch is high and away, ball 1. Aguirre from Pasadena, Texas, coming off his sophomore year at Dallas Eastfield College in Mesquite, Texas. Looks at a called strike on a changeup, 1-1. Aguirre, for his junior year, will attend Warner University in Florida next year. Left-handed hitter. Fouls that back to the screen, 1-2. Again, we've got a situation here where the roster page says Pasadena, Texas for hometown, and the baseball cube reference says he's from Gilbert, Arizona. Interesting. Outside with that change up, 2-2, the count on Eric Aguirre. Aguirre in 2 junior college seasons as he looks at ball 3. Full count. has hit .371 with 11 home runs and 87 RBIs. It's this one in the air to left field. Medill over to his left and back a couple of steps to make the catch for the first out. Aiden Marion, the catcher for the Berries, comes up. Marion is from right here in Saskatoon. Attended Hutchinson Community College as a freshman this past year, but is going to be heading to Sacramento State in California for his second year. And we got a pitching change already. So Bill Hosegood does his job based on the pitch count that he had. 22 of them unofficially. Gets the first out here in the second inning. And now in to throw will be Keaton Husband. Keaton Husband is from Weyburn, attends Okanagan College in British Columbia, 5'10", 180-pound right-hander. Keaton Husband has been in a couple of games. One start. Actually, he has the one start. That's what it is. A loss. But he pitched 2 1/3 innings against the Berries, gave up 8 hits, 11 runs, 10 of them earned, struck out 1 and walked 5. His ERA is a little on the inflated side at 38.57 coming into this appearance. Keaton Husband into the game. For Bill Hosegood, an inning and a third pitched. No runs. Gave up no hits. He struck out 1 and walked 1. Faced 6 batters and threw 22 pitches unofficially. He'll throw to Aiden Marion. A pitch up high, ball 1, the first offering from Keaton Husband. Marion has an RBI with 1 hit and 12 at-bats officially. Pitch inside, ball 2. Translates to an .083 average for Aiden Marion. Saskatoon product and graduate of St. Joseph. 2-0 pitch. Marion swings and pops it up. Shallow center field. Going back is the second baseman, and Ryan Weaver will make, or Gunnar Ferguson, I should say, will make the play for the second out. So now Nick Cote, who we're seeing here at Saskatoon for the first time as a member of the Berries, played a game on the road in Swift Current back on Friday. Had a hit and 3 at-bats. Right-hand hitter. A called strike as Husband throws a change-up breaking ball, and the umpires behind home plate didn't like the call. Again, it's not where the catcher catches the ball, it's where it crosses the home plate. Fastball hit into right field for a base hit. Cote on, that's the first hit of the game for the Berries. As Cote from Oakville, Ontario gets on, it'll bring up Nash Nichols. Berries center fielder who has 2 home runs among his 3 hits in the season. 7 runs batted in out of only 3 hits in 24 at-bats. A curveball in for a strike. So Nichols is hitting 125, hoping to get that going in the higher direction. Again, a change-up is in for strike 2. Nichols from Waxahachie, Texas. 2-strike pitch hit in the air, left field. Medill drifting back short of the warning track to make the catch, and that ends the inning. For the Berries in the bottom of the second inning, they had 1 hit, no Weyburn errors, and 1 runner left on base. We've played 2. It's Weyburn 1, Saskatoon no score, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Ready for the top of the third inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 1-0 Weyburn Beavers with the lead on the Saskatoon Berries. Michael Saul is the starting pitcher for Saskatoon out on the mound. He'll face the top of the Weyburn order. Center fielder Hugh Montgomery, left fielder Joe Medill, and right fielder Austin Boylan. Montgomery grounded out to short his first time up. He's now hitting .250 for the year, 7 for 28 with that ground out in the first inning. I love it when I can do easy math like that. Even I know that 7 for 28 is .250. First pitch to him down low, ball 1. Saul ready to deliver again. Slider in there for a strike. 1-1. From this angle that we broadcast from, it can be tough to tell whether that's a slider or a cut fastball. That one looked like it could have been a slider. Fouled off at the plate. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Saul out of the full windup. 1-2 pitch, just cued off, foul at the plate. Count stays, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch again, and again foul back to the screen by Hugh Montgomery from Winnipeg. He also, like Rob Gurney, attends Mayville State University. Montgomery, 5'9", 180 pounds. Good speed. He plays center field. 1-2 pitch. On the inside corner, called strike 3, and Montgomery doesn't like being rung up by Aaron Shavolt. Strikeout number 3 for Saul in the afternoon. 1 out here in the top of the third inning. It'll be left fielder Joe Medill, who was one of the 3 strikeout victims of Saul so far today. Medill, 5'11", 180-pound left-handed hitter. Looks at the first pitch down low, ball 1. Saul looked uncomfortable making that pitch. Now on the ground towards first, stabbed, and the toss over to the pitcher, Saul. Good play by Josh Henson, the first baseman, to record the second out. So Austin Boylan now, the batter, he flew out to right field to Eric Guire to end the first inning. Braden Mayencourt will come to the on-deck circle, hoping that he gets a chance to hit here because Boylan will have gotten on base safely here in the top of the third inning. Slider in there for a strike. Boylan from Barrie, Ontario. Trained with the Ontario Blue Jays and has participated in the Canadian Future Showcase. Swing and a miss. And another slider for an 0-2 count. Boylan's majoring in sport management at North Dakota State University. 2-strike pitch. Holds up swinging. That was up high, ball one on the fastball from Saul. Boylan, 5'11", 205, right-hand hitter. Leads the team in RBI and is tied for 7th in the league in that stat. Now they're going to check the first base, and still nope on the appeal. The check swing by Boylan has ruled the ball 2-2. Boylan also here's the 2-2 pitch. That one is outside and a full count now. Full count pitch is outside and gets back to the screen, but Boylan will trot on down to first. He draws a walk, and with 2 away, it'll be Braden Mayencourt getting a shot at the plate. He struck out to lead off the second inning. He's now 5 for 26 on the year. Again, he catches, pitches, played first base. He's playing third base today. A veteran player with this team. On the ground towards short. Laird scoops it up, and he'll go to the bag himself to force Austin Boylan for the third and final out. For Weyburn in the top of the third inning, no runs, no hits. There were no Barrie's errors, and 1 runner left on base after 2.5. It is Weyburn 1, Saskatoon no score. You're watching Barrie's baseball on FloCollege. Keaton Husband on for the bottom of the third inning to pitch for Weyburn. He came on after Bill Hosegood retired the first man in the bottom of the second inning. Weyburn product was called a lot out of the bullpen last year. 17 games last year for Weyburn. One record of 1 win, 1 loss. He had 13 strikeouts in 30 innings. And has spent the last 2 seasons pitching for Minnesota West Community and Technical College as both a starter and reliever. 6-6, 5 complete games, 77 strikeouts and 80-plus innings over 20 games. So Keaton Husband looking to get some bulk innings in here for Weyburn today, and is the second man in. His first pitch to Kyle Salinas, the Barrie's DH, is inside, ball 1. Salinas flew out to right his first time up. Salinas and his batting average have dropped below 400 as he hits a fly ball into center field. Holding up, and Hugh Montgomery will make the catch for the first out. No. Nathan Houston is the batter. He reached on an error when his bat exploded upon contact, and Braden Mayencourt may have been distracted by that, bobbled the ball at third base. First pitch swinging onto the screen is a foul ball, strike one. Keaton Husband will then be going to Okanagan College in BC for his junior year, based on the information off of the website. Inside, 1-1. Houston jumped back. Melville, Saskatchewan product, Nathan Houston. Back for a second season with the Berries. And third, as that pitch dipped down low, ball 2, 2-1. In 2024, Nathan Houston played for Moose Jaw, the Miller Express. 2-1 pitch, line drive over the head of the shortstop into left center field. Heading over is Hugh Montgomery to try and cut it off. He knocked it down. Houston will make his way into second base with a stand-up double. It'll bring up Ethan Murdoch. That's Houston's first extra base hit of the season. Comes at a good time. Murdoch walked his first time up back in the first inning. Murdoch finds himself in the top 10 of several batting categories in the league. First pitch changeup was fouled back to the screen, strike one. He's came into the game 6th in average, 7th in OPS, on base percentage plus slugging at over 1.2, led the league in hits, tied for third with home runs with 2, both of them against Weyburn. Now Houston takes off for third and picked a good pitch as he can stand up going into third base. That was a changeup, and Houston didn't have to slide to reach third base. The Berries have a runner 90 feet away from tying this game up here in the bottom of the third inning. Line drive, this one is hooking, foul. That had the distance as it gets caught up in the tree well above the fence down the left field line, but foul. So 2 strikes is the count still on Ethan Murdoch. Husband bounces that in. Good block by Owen Mayencourt. Keeps the ball in front of him, keeps Nathan Houston at third base. Murdoch also came into the game tied for 4th in plate appearances. He's now at 40 and tied for 5th in at-bats with 35. 1-2 pitch. That's up high, 2-2. Josh Henson, the first baseman, on deck. And now timeout called by the first base umpire, Matt Schule, the crew chief. And I'm not sure what he's pointing out, but something about what's going on the mound in behind the pitching rubber. Seems to be just some clarification needed. Not sure what. 2-2 count. Cued off foul. Murdoch stays alive. Murdoch has 8 runs batted in on the season. He'd like to get to 9 here right now. Even something in the air to medium to deep outfield would get the job done, and this will do it. It's a line drive that will fall in center field. Houston will trot home with the Berries' first run, and a base hit for Ethan Murdoch ties this game up at 1-1. Josh Henson now the first baseman coming to the plate. He struck out against Weyburn starter Bill Hosegood back in the first inning. Berries had two men on in Houston and Murdoch back then, but Henson and Brock Laird couldn't get them around. Pitch down low, ball one with a curve. Henson from Huntsville, Alabama. There's a pitch at the knees, strike one. Henson coming off his freshman year at Southeastern Louisiana University. First time I've seen him play first base, he's been at third base. A good defensive player there. Swing and a miss on a slow-moving either change-up or breaking ball. 1-2 the count. Ethan Murdoch at first with one away here in the bottom of the third inning and a 1-1 tie. Saskatoon Berries and Weyburn Beavers. Husband delivers on the ground, foul wide of third base. 1-2 the count holds on Josh Henson. Looks like the wind is starting to pick up a little, coming from the south. The radar does say that there's weather on the way. Now Murdoch takes off. Henson pops this one up. Murdoch has to hustle back to first base. The ball into the outfield, and Gunnar Ferguson, with the wind chase, taking that ball further out away from the infield into the outfield, was able to stay with it and make the catch for the second out. Murdoch returns to first safely. Two away, and Brock Laird, the shortstop, up. He flew out to center field to Hugh Montgomery to end the top bottom of the first inning. Murdoch, the big lead. Laird on the ground, packs third base. Mayencourt couldn't come up with it backhanded, and everybody is safe. That'll be a base hit for Brock Laird. Hard hit ball down the third base line. Mayencourt stabbed at it backhanded, but couldn't come up with it cleanly. So Murdoch to second, and Laird with a base hit. And it'll bring up Eric Aguirre, the right fielder, who flew out to left his first time up. He was the last batter to face Bill Hosegood, the starter for Weyburn. This time up, he faces Keaton Husband, who pitches and in there for a strike. Aaron Shavolt, our home plate umpire, will take his time with the indication sometimes, although you'll hear him before he makes the actual motion. This one poked away short, fielded, and a toss to second just in time to get the out. And that's the end of the inning. The Berries, though, get a tie run on 3 hits. There were no Weyburn errors, and one runner left on base. After 3, here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, it's the Saskatoon Berries 1 and the Weyburn Beavers 1. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Your unofficial line score through 3 innings of play here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. For the Saskatoon Berries, a run on 4 hits. No errors. They've left 4 runners on base. For the Weyburn Beavers, a run on 1 hit. 1 error they've committed and 3 runners left on base. Top of the 4th inning, Weyburn with Colt Uphold Sussex, the number 5 hitter, then Rob Gurney, the first baseman, and shortstop Ryan Weaver to face Michael Saul. First pitch from Saul, up high, ball 1. Unofficially, Saul just threw his 46th pitch of the afternoon. No action down either baseline when the bullpens. A pitch in for a strike. 1-1. Saul kicks and fires, fouled off at the plate. 1-2. Colt Uphold Sussex at McPherson College. 65 games the last 2 years. He puts one on the ground, knocked down at third base by Nick Cote, and the throw across, and Henson had to do a good job with the short hop at first with the stretch to make sure he got the out. There's a bit of a bad hop there on the last one just prior to it getting to Cote. Took that one high on the chest and able to stay with it and make the throw, and a better play at the other end by Josh Henson to make sure he caught the ball on the short hop for the out. So 1 away, and it's Rob Gurney, the veteran first baseman who also does catching, DHing, etc. for the Beavers. First pitch outside with a fastball, ball 1. Gurney walked and scored in the 2nd inning. 9 for 30 on the season for Rob Gurney. That one's down and inside, 2-0. 9 for 30 is a .300 average. Gurney with a home run and 6 runs batted in. 6'1", 195-pound right-hand hitter. Saul's 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like the cut fastball, 2-1. Unless you can throw that thing 100 miles an hour, a straight fastball is of no use even at this level. You got to have some kind of movement on the ball when you're pitching. Hit on the ground up the third base line and fair. Into the left field corner. Gurney will turn first and make his way into second. The ball with an interesting hop back into the field of play, but Ethan Murdoch will gather it in and get it back to the infield, and Gurney will pull up with a stand-up double. So now Ryan Weaver, the shortstop, who was hit by a pitch his last time up in the 2nd inning. Weaver from Gilbert, Arizona. 6 foot, 175-pound left-handed hitter. Third baseman Nick Cote will come to the edge of the infield grass as Weaver, good wheels on him, could drop down a bunt. Showed bunt. Saul's first pitch is down low, ball 1. Ryan Weaver can also play in the outfield, we're told. That pitch inside, a slider blocked by Aiden Marion, and it's 2-0. Weaver scored 12 runs in 28 games at Eastern New Mexico University this past college season. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Another game that's being well pitched and moving along very well. We're already in the top of the 4th inning, and we haven't reached 2 o'clock yet, or an hour worth of playing time. Fouled back into the screen by Weaver, count even at 2-2. Owen Mayencourt, the catcher, is on deck. Weaver back into the batter's box on the left-hand side. Saul gets his sign from Aiden Marion. Checks the runner at second and deals. Popped up high, and this will be up and out of play. Count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now a discussion about to happen on the mound as catcher Aiden Marion out to talk with Michael Saul, and just to make sure there's no confusion as to what they want to do. Let's get pitcher and catcher on the same page as far as what they want to do with this pitch in the 2-2 to Ryan Weaver. If it's me, I'm telling Saul, rear back and throw it. Good old country hardball. See if he can catch up to your fastball. 2-2 pitch. Couldn't do it. He threw that fastball, blew it right by him. Strikeout number 4 for Michael Saul. And there's 2 away. Owen Mayencourt now, the catcher who singled and drove in Gurney with a 2-out base hit back in the second inning for the Weyburn run in this game. Right-handed hitter Owen Mayencourt. 25 RBI in 31 games in his freshman year at Big Bend Community College. First pitch from Saul is just outside, ball 1. Rob Gurney at second with 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. A 1-1 tie. Hit in the air. This one's going to slice into foul territory and find the ground. It'd be a strike. 1-1 the count. Second baseman Gunnar Ferguson is on deck. Good sized crowd on a Sunday afternoon. Comfortable conditions. 1-1 pitch. Looked like the cut fastball and called a ball outside, 2-1. Owen Mayencourt with a good eye. That looked pretty good. But again, I'm looking up the right field line, not directly behind home plate. So what do I know? 2-1 pitch, fouled off into the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Weyburn catcher. Berries get tomorrow off. And then we'll welcome the Medicine Hat Mavericks to town for games Tuesday night and Wednesday night here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. First pitch both nights, 7 o'clock. 2-2 with 2 away. Up high with a fastball. Full count now to Owen Mayencourt. Unofficially, Michael Saul about to throw his 65th pitch of the game. Popped up into foul territory and playable, and catch made by Josh Henson to retire the side. No runs for Weyburn in the top of the 4th inning. They had 1 hit. They left 1 runner on base. There were no Berries errors. And after 3.5, it's Saskatoon 1, Weyburn 1 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Bottom third of the Saskatoon Berries order coming up here in the bottom of the fourth inning at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field in a 1-1 tie. Keaton Husband on the mound for Weyburn. Pitched an inning in 2/3, has allowed the one Berries run. He'll face Aiden Marion, the catcher, Nick Cote, the third baseman, and Nash Nichols, the center fielder. Radar shows weather all around us, but not here right now at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. We're into the bottom of the fourth. Aiden Marion, the catcher for the Berries, popped up to second base back in the second inning. He was the first man that Keaton Husband faced, and Husband's first pitch hits Marion in the back. So the Berries get a painful leadoff man on base. They'll bring up Nick Cote, the third baseman. Cote from Oakville, Ontario. Attends Niagara University, coming off his freshman year there. First pitch up high, ball one. Niagara University is in Niagara Falls, New York, in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, NCAA Division I. Cote looks at that slow-moving curve slash changeup for a strike, 1-1. Cote had 271 for Niagara University this past winter with a home run and 20 runs batted in. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Cote played in 47 games with Niagara University and had 166 at-bats. He'll get it in the air to right field. Austin Boylan drifting back. He'll make the catch, and Aiden Marion will hold where he is at first base. So 1 away. We'll bring up Nash Nichols, who flew out to left. His first time up in the second inning. Marion at first. He's going to take off, and that pitch hits Nash Nichols. So Marion can stop at second base. 2 hit batsmen out of 3 batters in this inning, and actually Cote almost got hit by a pitch as well in his at-bat before flying out. So Keaton Husband battling with it a little bit, especially the right-handed hitters. Top of the order, Giles Salinas up. He's flown out a couple of times, making his 3rd appearance of the afternoon. Salinas will attend the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley next college season, but he's played his first 2 at Frontier Community College in Fairfield, Illinois. That slow changeup slash curveball down low, bounced in, blocked by the catcher Owen Mayencourt. Ball 1 to Giles Salinas. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike. I was going to say, with his propensity for throwing that slower changeup and curveball, a batter may want to move up in the batter's box, but then he throws that fastball, and you realize that you don't quite have that time to react if he throws fastball to you. So you hang on in the back of the batter's box rather than going up. Salinas on that off-speed pitch pops it up in the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect, as Gunnar Ferguson will make the catch. And there's now 2 away. with Nathan Houston coming to the plate. Houston doubled, stole a base, and scored back last inning for Saskatoon for their only run of the game. 1-1 is the score. Barry's in the Weyburn Beavers. He also reached on an error in the first inning. Just under 400 with the batting average, 9 for 23. Runners are going. Here's the throw on to third, but not in time. Aiden Marion steals third, and in behind him, Nash Nichols swipes second base. Didn't catch what the pitch was. So we'll see what happens. Eventually, hopefully, we'll get an indication from the home plate umpire after this pitch, maybe. There's the inside pitch. So now it's 1-1. They're saying the first pitch was a strike to Nathan Houston. 2 ducks on the pond here for Houston, though. If he can get a ball into the outfield that's on grass, 2 runs should be able to score. Slider looked like there. Down low, 2-1. Ready to deal. Keaton Husband, 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss on a curveball by Nathan Houston, and we're now evened up at 2-2. That top line of the scoreboard out in right center field at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning. And it's hit foul, wide of third base. Count holds at 2-2. Houston had a hamstring injury this past winter season. In his first year playing at Louisiana Tech University, his first 2 seasons were at Arizona Western College in Yuma, Arizona. 2-2 pitch, and it hits him on the arms, maybe around the wrist, but that's 3 hit batsmen to load the bases here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and now it's Ethan Murdoch, who singled his last time up and drove in Houston, walked his first time up. So, with Indeed, as is set up here, with the bases juiced here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 away, though, and now we've got a visit to the mound. There's nobody in the bullpen. This is just a matter of chatting things over. How do you want to approach pitching Ethan Murdoch, who has done very well head-to-head against Weyburn? To say he's been a thorn in their side offensively would be an understatement through the first 4 meetings and into this one. While we see this meeting on the mound, which is just broken up, Environment Canada says 22 degrees Celsius, 72 Fahrenheit here in Saskatoon. Wind out of the south-southwest at 10 kilometers per hour, so not that much. That's like 6-7 miles an hour. Pleasant Sunday afternoon. Husband's first pitch to Murdoch is an inside pitch, ball 1. Change-up type of delivery. Keaton Husband ready to deliver again, 1-0. That one's down low, 2-0. Throwing a curve. Murdoch, now with the batter's count, should be looking for a pitch in a certain zone here to drive. 2-0 delivery. Popped up. This will find the screen and be a foul ball. 2-1. If this was last season, there might have been a play on that with the backstop 16 feet further back, but Because of the new home plate seats, the backstop's only 42 feet away from home plate, not 58. 2-1 pitch coming to Murdoch. Foul back to the screen again, and now the count is even at 2-2. Josh Henson, the first baseman, is on deck for the Berries. But Murdoch is the man, as once again we have a 2-2 count with 2 outs on that top line of the scoreboard here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2-2 pitch on Husband is down low, full count. So now, Action Jackson pitch upcoming. Everybody on base will be moving with the pitch. And we'll see what happens here. Does Husband throw Murdoch something that's a strike or not? And how anxious is Ethan Murdoch going to be here? This is on the ground towards second, scooped up by the shortstop. A throw to first, not in time, and 2 runs will score. Really taking too much time. It wasn't well hit, but Ryan Weaver, the shortstop, fielded the ball and looked like he bobbled it a little bit before he made the transfer to throw. It's an infield single for Murdoch, and 2 runs batted in. The Berries lead at 3-1 as Nathan Houston into second safely. Nash Nichols was motoring around the base at third and came home to score on that play. So Marion and Nichols both score, and Murdoch has 3 RBI on the afternoon, this time on an infield hit, and stealing third is Nathan Houston on a ball down low to Josh Henson. Henson 0 for 2. He'd love to get on the hit parade. Pitch outside, ball 2 to Henson. Henson came into the game tied for 7th in the league at bats with 33. He's up to 35 now with his 0 for 2 today. He has 7 singles on the year. 4 runs batted in. Murdoch takes off. Mayencourt bluffs the throw, checking on Houston at third, and Murdoch will walk into second base. Not sure if you would officially call that a stolen base or a defensive indifference. It is a stolen base, though, on a 3-0 pitch, and Henson then takes a strike on the changeup. So second and third with 2 away. 3-1 pitch upcoming to Josh Henson. The batter's count. Ball 4. And a full count now for Brock Laird, who singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2 in the afternoon. Here's a chance for the Berries shortstop to really bust this thing open if he can get a 2-out hit. There is activity down the left field line in the Weyburn bullpen. Keaton Husband's pitch inside, ball 1 to Brock Laird. Ben Hosegood is warming up. He and Bill are indeed brothers. The starting pitcher today for Weyburn. And now a hit batsman again. That's 4 in the inning, and this one brings in a run. Makes it 4-1. Oh, that is 5. It is 5-1 now. No. It's 4. Eric Aguirre now up. The first pitch outside. This is the 9th man up in the order. That's a RBI for Laird, one of the painful variety. Pitch in for a strike on Aguirre. 1 ball, 1 strike. Murdoch at third, Henson at second, Laird at first. Cued, foul up the third base line. 1-2 the count on Aguirre, who's 0 for 2. This is quite the 3-run inning here for the Berries. 4 batters hit by a pitch, 1 hit, and a walk. Keaton Husband not doing himself any favors. Aguirre on the ground, into the hole at short. Picked, long throw to first, not in time. That's an infield hit for Eric Aguirre as the Berries have batted around, and Murdoch scores to make it 5-1. Henson to third, Laird to second, and Aidan Marion, who was the first of the 4-hit batsmen to lead off this inning, comes up for a second time in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, that's fine. Just Marion's first pitch swinging, bounding ball to third, race to the bag, and out. Diving was Braden Mayencourt to just get there ahead of Brock Laird to finish off the inning. So at the end of, in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Berries score 4 runs on 2 hits. There were no Weyburn errors and 2 runners left on base. After 4 completed is Saskatoon 5 and Weyburn 1. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, top of the 5th inning, Michael Saul sat in the dugout and watched as his team put up 4 runs of support to give him a 5-1 lead here heading to the top of the 5th inning. Number 9 hitter for the Beavers, Gunnar Ferguson, will lead it off against Saul. Ferguson flying out to left his first time up. First pitch swinging, fouls that off, and that'll be over the third base bleachers and into the dugout, or into the parking lot, I should say. That was a rough inning on Keaton Husband, 4-hit batsman for the Weyburn pitcher. Bounced in, ball 1, 1-1. Saul needs to get through the 5th inning and have the team hold on for the victory to register a victory. Swung on and fouled down the third base side and out of play. That's a ball and 2 strikes now on Gunnar Ferguson. He's playing second base. Thorndale, Texas product who can do some pitching as well. Looks at a Saul fastball up high, 2-2. Ferguson coming off his sophomore year at Eastern New Mexico University. 2-2 pitch, fouled off at the plate. He hangs in there at 2-2. Sorry, he came off his freshman campaign. He had 5 RBI, 5 hits, and 4 runs scored in just 10 games played for Eastern New Mexico. 2-2 again, the count here, and now time called by the hitter Ferguson just as Saul was about to rock into his windup. Ferguson back in the left-hand batter's box. Saul's 2-2, bounced in front of the plate. Full count. Top of the order, Hugh Montgomery, the center fielder, on deck. Joe Medill, the left fielder, in the hole. Scheduled to bat this half inning. Saul's 3-2 pitch, hit towards shortstop, fielded by Laird. The throw taken high by Josh Henson, but he kept his foot on the bag and retires Gunnar Ferguson for the first out. That wasn't a hard hit ball, and Ferguson came up the line quickly from out of the left-hand batter's box. Good play, though, by Brock Laird. It'll bring up Hugh Montgomery, who's 0 for 2. Ground out to short and struck out his last time up. And the first pitch from Saul is on the inside corner for a strike. Montgomery didn't like the pitch that was called strike 3 on him the last time. It was a similar one to that one. Up high with a cutter, 1-1. Saul's 1-1 pitch, inside, 2-1. Saul last year at the University of Nebraska at Omaha had a 1-loss, 9.38 earned run average record, and he'll clip Hugh Montgomery with an inside pitch. That's the second batter that Saul has hit this afternoon. He also hit Ryan Weaver back in the second inning. Hit batsmen all over the place today. Joe Medill, the left fielder, up 0 for 2, struck out in the first and grounded out to Josh Henson, the first baseman, his last time up in the third inning. First pitch swinging, towering pop-up. Shortstop Brock Laird on the edge of the outfield grass will make the catch for the second out. And it'll bring up the right fielder Austin Boylan, who's 0 for 1, flew out to right in the first inning, walked in the third. Saul about to throw pitch number 78 of the day, unofficially. Stirring going on down the right field line in the Berries bullpen. Taking off for second is Montgomery. The throw down, and the tag is not going to be in time. And a high throw led to that. If Marion gets that down a couple of feet, that may have had a shot. So a stolen base for Hugh Montgomery, and he is now in scoring position with his team trailing by 4 at 5-1 in the top of the fifth inning. Carter Kopp starting to warm up down the right field line in the Berries bullpen. Meanwhile, Ben Hosegood continues to throw down the left field line in the Weyburn pen. Yep. One strike pitch to Boylan. Inside, 1-1. Austin Boylan is a Canadian from Barrie, Ontario. 1-1 pitch. High in the zone with that slider, 1-2. One and two the count on Austin Boylan. With 2 away. Saul's pitch outside. He tried to put a little extra gas onto that one. 2-2 the count. Michael Saul wanting to finish off this inning. Would not be surprised if his day is done once he does that. That pitch up high, full count. Runner at second is Hugh Montgomery, the Weyburn center fielder. Full count pitch with 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Saul's 5th strikeout of the afternoon. May have been his last pitch of the day. He has a 5-1 lead over the Weyburn Beavers, as in the top of the 5th inning, Weyburn, no runs, no hits. They left a runner on base. There were no Barry's errors. And after 4.5, we're halfway through. It is the Saskatoon Berries 5 and the Weyburn Beavers 1. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
New pitcher into the ball game for the Weyburn Beavers. It'll be Ben Hosegood, who is the brother of the starting pitcher Bill. Ben Hosegood is also from Radisson, Saskatchewan, but instead of the University of Calgary, as brother Bill attends, he is at the Colby Community College. This will be Ben Hosegood's first appearance as a pitcher this season for Weyburn. 5'10", 170-pound right-hander. He'll face Nick Cote, the Barry's third baseman, who first pitch swinging, hits it on the ground, fielded at second base by Gunnar Ferguson and throws him out. So Cote now 1 for 3 in the afternoon. Nash Nichols, the center fielder, will come up. He was hit by a pitch last inning by Keaton Husband, one of 4 Barries to be plunked. Stole a base and ended up scoring the Barry's third run of the afternoon. Flew out to left his first time up in the second inning. First pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. Nichols with a line drive down the left field line, but that will hook foul as it went over. No, they're calling it a home run. That looked like it was foul. Logan Nugent, the third base umpire, as the Beavers on the field protest, left fielder thought it was foul. Third baseman Mayencourt thought it was foul. So did I. But it left the yard, and it is a solo home run on a line drive. And now Cam Williams, the head coach of the Weyburn Beavers, will come out and have a discussion with third base umpire Logan Nugent. It's a brief discussion, and it's now 6-1. Nichols with his team leading third home run of the season. No. Yeah. So Giles Salinas will come to the plate. I really thought that that one was hooking foul. It left the yard. I couldn't tell from my angle whether it was to the left of the foul pole, which would have been foul, or to the right of the foul pole, which would have been fair, and obviously it was to the right of it because third baseman Logan Nugent has the final say. Salinas, first pitch, looks at a strike from Ben Hosegood. Kyle Salinas 0 for 3 today. He is the DH for the Berries this afternoon. On the ground, it's going to be foul. 2 strikes, the count on Salinas, with Nathan Houston on deck. Ready to go again. 2-strike count on Giles Salinas. On the ground towards shortstop. And then mishandled by the shortstop Ryan Weaver. And Salinas on base because of an error. Second one of the afternoon for the Weyburn Beavers. It'll bring up Nathan Houston. Houston hit by a pitch last inning, scored, also stole a base. He's got a couple of steals today. Salinas on first draws a throw from Ben Hosegood. Officially on the day, Houston's 1 for 2 with a double. He'll hit this one towards third, knocked down by Mayencourt. He'll throw it across the diamond and in time to retire Houston as Salinas will take second base on the play. 2 out. And Ethan Murdoch to the plate. Murdoch 2 for 2. And 3 runs batted in for him. Drove in Houston in the third inning and then drove in 2 with an infield hit last inning. Hosegood's first pitch, a breaking ball outside, ball 1. Now Hosegood will turn and look towards second base, bluffs a throw. Salinas back to the bag. Ben Hosegood with the 1-0 delivery to Murdoch at the knees for a strike. Murdoch back to being a .500 batting average. 18 for 36 with his day so far. That breaking pitch low and away again. Ball 2, 2-1. On deck is Josh Henson. Down low with that pitch. Looked like he was throwing a knuckleball there. A release. An interesting hand position on the ball. Way that one came off. 3-1 pitch. And check swing couldn't hold up. Did Murdoch. Misses that altogether for full count. Two away, runner on second. 3-2 pitch to Murdoch. He'll chop this one to the left side of the infield. Long throw, not in time. Infield hit for Ethan Murdoch. He's 3 for 3 as Salinas moves on over to third. Shortstop Weaver did everything he could to make that happen as far as an out goes, but Murdoch got down the line on a slowly hit chopper. So now Josh Henson, he'll throw over to first to check on Murdoch. Henson 0 for 2. He walked his last time up in the fourth inning. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball that went down. Berries with a 6-1 lead have scored in each of the last 3 half innings for them. Their last 3 times at the plate, 1 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th, and 1 here in the 5th, and still going. Henson swings and misses on that breaking ball, behind 0-2 now. And now a toss over to first to check on Murdoch, who's back safely. Kyle Salinas, the runner at third. Ethan Murdoch, the runner at first. First and third, 2 away for the Berries. 2-strike count on Josh Henson here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Murdoch takes off. Henson on the ground. Mayencourt backs up, spins, fires across. That's wide of the mark and into the Berries dugout. Murdoch will come over to third base, and Henson will end up on second. That's a single and a throwing error by the third baseman. Mayencourt allowing the runner to get to third, so it's second and third. And now we're going to have a visit to the mound from the Weyburn pitching coach. An RBI for Henson. As Josh Henson with an infield single and his 5th run batted in of the season. And Brock Laird coming up to the plate. Laird hit by a pitch last inning, which drove in a run. He also singled back in the 3rd inning and is 1 for 2. Again, another long half inning here with the Berries up the plate. 7th man to the dish here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll see if Michael Saul comes back out for the 6th. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see what Joe Carnahan has in mind. He's had Carter Kopp warming up down the right field line, and right now there's nobody throwing in the Berries bullpen after that first pitch to Brock Laird down low and outside, ball 1. Ben Hosegood bounces that in. Good block by the catcher, Owen Mayencourt. Makes it 2-0. Ethan Murdoch, the runner at third. Josh Henson's at second base. 2 runs in for the Berries. They now lead it 7-1 on Weyburn here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Eric Aguirre is on deck, the Berries right fielder. Ben Hosegood pitches, and that's outside, ball 3. 3-0 the count on Brock Laird. 1 pitch away from loading the bases. Hosegood's 3-0. That's low and away, and indeed that is the case. Bases juiced once again, and now it'll be Eric Aguirre who got a base hit his last time up. And drove in a run. His first RBI in the WCBL. And with the Berries. And the left-handed hitter. And inside from Ben Hosegood, ball 1. Again, Aguirre. Good hitter according to head coach Joe Carnahan. They like what they see of him potentially. Hosegood pours in a strike. 1-1. Aiden Marion is on deck. He would be the 9th man to the plate if Aguirre gets on safely and brings home some runs. Down low, 2-1. And again, we get action down the left field line in the Weyburn bullpen. Casey Lindstedt is warming up now. Two-one pitch to Aguirre, fouled off over the third base bleachers and into the parking lot in behind there. Count even at 2-2. Ben Hosegood with a 2-2 pitch and 2 away. Bounces it in. Good block by Owen Mayencourt. Count is full. With the bases loaded, a full count and 2 and away. Again, we've got an Action Jackson pitch upcoming. All the runners will be on the move with the pitch. Time called back in. Hosegood ready to go. Aguirre waits. Hit in the air, left center field. That is going to split the outfielders and get one hop off the fence. 2 runs in. Here comes a third run in to make it 10-1 as Eric Aguirre clears the sacks with a double. And 3 runs batted in to make it 10-1. Murdoch, Henson, and Brock Laird all score on the play. It'll bring up Aiden Marion. 4 RBI for Aguirre on the afternoon. He had a double last night against Regina. He's 2 for 4 with 4 runs batted in. Aiden Marion, the catcher, now up. Marion 0 for 2, hit by a pitch and scored last inning. And we're going to get a pitching change here right now for the Weyburn Beavers. I don't know. So we'll have a pitching change as Ben Hosegood will last 2/3 of an inning. And a new pitcher into the game for Weyburn will be Casey Lindstead. Once I write him into my scorebook, I'll tell you a little bit more about the 4th Weyburn pitcher of the afternoon. He's from Bel Air, Kansas, and goes to Friends University in Kansas. 5'10", 175-pound right-hander. He was a senior at Friends University in Kansas, joining the team this season. And for Casey Lindstead, let's see what we've got on him as far as this season goes. Yeah, we have to scroll down. He has made an appearance, an inning and 2/3. No record, a 21.60 earned run average. He allowed 3 hits in that inning and 2/3, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, struck out 1, and walked 2. Oh, he's a sidearm submariner, kind of a cross thrower. Steps his front foot towards third base and then slings it back across. He doesn't come down as low as Tyler Rogers of the Toronto Blue Jays with that submarine delivery, but it's semi-submarine, somewhere between submarine and sidearm. So a different look for the Berries, and Aiden Marion, the catcher, who will come up. Berries with 5 here in the inning, now with a 10-1 lead. On Sunday afternoon at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. "26 pitches for Ben Hosegood, I should say. Lasting 2/3 of an inning. He's still responsible for the man on second in Eric Aguirre. First pitch to Marion, and that is inside, ball 1. One error in the inning by the Beavers. Counts for a couple of unearned runs. Aguirre dancing around at second. That sidearm pitch is up high. Change up that time, 2-0. Third baseman Nick Cote on deck. Again, a long half inning at the plate for the Berries. Aguirre almost halfway down. Now goes back to the bag, and then Marion gets hit. Well, I guess not. He didn't get hit by a pitch. The ball just got away from the catcher, and on to third base is Eric Aguirre. I thought Aguirre or Marion got hit, but not the case. Off the catcher's glove into the backstop, so 3-0 the count. And up high, actually they're going to say that was off of his bat, possibly. Three and one, I believe, is the count. No indication from the home plate umpire, and there's a pitch in for a strike. We'd like to see an indication from the home plate umpire, but we're not getting one. This one's inside, and that's a walk. It's a 6-pitch walk. The inning continues as the 10th man up to the plate will be Nick Cote, who started off this bottom of the 5th inning by grounding out to second against Ben Hosegood, who was pitching to Cote as the first batter he faced in this half inning. Now Cote will see another different pitcher in this inning, in Casey Lindstedt. And now heading for second is Marion. He'll steal it as the pitcher steps off to check to make sure that Aguirre wasn't going anywhere. So Marion is at second suddenly. Eric Aguirre at third, and Lindstedt is yet to pitch to Nick Cote. Lindstedt's first pitch, breaking ball, a sweeper across the plate, strike one. Nash Nichols, who hit the line drive home run earlier in the inning, it kind of surprised everybody in the ballpark, with the exception of the third base umpire Logan Nugent, who made the call. Another sweeping curveball outside this time, 1-1. That home run by Nichols really seemed to change the trajectory of this inning and this game. 1-1 pitch. Down low to Cote, 2-1. Nash Nichols is on deck. Casey Lindstedt ready to go, a 2-1 pitch. Slow moving breaking ball is inside. That'll be ball 3, 3-1. And now Lindstedt asking, was that inside? He thought he had himself a strike there. Not so, says home plate umpire Aaron Chevault. 3-1, way outside. And that'll be a walk to load the bases for Nash Nichols. Long inning as Weyburn pitching, having trouble finding the plate. Hit batsman, walks, the odd hit for the Berries. 10-1 the score here in the bottom of the 5th. Casey Lindstedt, the 4th pitcher of the afternoon for the Weyburn Beavers. And there it's on the inside corner for a strike with that sidearm breaking ball that just caught the inside corner. Nichols is 1 for 2, that solo home run earlier this inning. Hit by pitch, stole the base and scored last inning, and a foul tip for strike 2. Nichols had the downs in mind there with that swing. He took a huge cut at that. Giles Salinas, the DH and leadoff man for the Berries, on deck. 2-strike pitch, low and away, ball 1. 11th batter to the plate for the Berries here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Second time they have gone through the order in consecutive innings. Tap back towards the mound underneath the pitchers, and then a bad hop and past everybody into center field. 2 runs will score, and all the way around to third base is Nick Cote. A base hit, a bat hop single for Nash Nichols. It got under the glove of the pitcher Lindstedt and then hit the lip of the infield grass and popped up over the head of the second baseman, Gunnar Ferguson, into center field. Eric Aguirre scored, so did Aiden Marion. And it's now 12-1 for the Berries, with runners at first and third, and Giles Salinas coming to the plate for the 5th time in the game. And again, we're only in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lindstedt's first pitch to Salinas is up high, ball 1. First and third with 2 away. We've had 2 away for a while in this game, in this inning. Lindstedt's pitch, Salinas fouls it off over top of the first base bleachers and out of play. 1-1 the count. Casey Lindstedt ready to deliver. 1-1 pitch. That curveball trying to catch the inside corner just missed. 2-1. Salinas is 0 for 4 today. Reached on an error earlier this inning and came around to score on the Josh Henson single. Salinas lifting a ball into right center field. Coming on and making the catch is Austin Boylan to finally finish off the half inning. But for the Berries, in the bottom of the 5th, they scored 7 runs. And they did so on 5 hits. There was 1 Weyburn error, actually 2 Weyburn errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 5, Saskatoon 12, Weyburn 1. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. New pitcher into the ball game for the Saskatoon Berries, Michael Saul, with a strong 5 innings of work as a starter. It'll be Carter Kopp coming on for the Berries to pitch here in the top of the 6th inning. Kopp will make his 2nd appearance, only pitched to a 3rd inning so far this year without any incident. First pitch strike to Braden Mayencourt, Weyburn 3rd baseman, who's 0 for 2 this afternoon. And that's down and out, down low and outside, ball 1. Inside to Mayencourt, now 2-1. Middle third of the order for Weyburn. Braden Mayencourt, Colt Uphold Sussex, and Rob Gurney. That pitch down low, 3-1 to Mayencourt. Kopp, a veteran. This has been Barry since the get-go with this franchise in 2024 in the WCBL. And that's down low, ball 4. So a leadoff walk here in the top of the 6th inning. Kopp pitched in 2022 with the Fort McMurray Giants, and like I say, he's the last 2 years with the Saskatoon Berries. 3-3 all time in the WCBL, a 2.13 earned run average in 50 2/3 innings. Swing and a miss, a strike on Colt Uphold Sussex, who's 0 for 2 today. Kopp again is a local product. We'll tell you more about that in a moment as Uphold Sussex fouls that back to the screen. 0-2 he's behind. Carter Kopp from Saskatoon graduated high school from Bishop James Mahoney High School. 5'10", 170-pound right-hander. Been around for a while. 2-strike pitch called strike 3. 1 out. Kopp just coming off his senior year at St. Xavier University in Illinois. That's in the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference, National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, or NAIA for short. He's pitched 4 years at St. Xavier. First pitch up high to Rob Gurney, ball 1. Gurney has been the most productive Weyburn Beaver today. Walked and scored in the 2nd inning, doubled his last time up in the 4th. So 1 for 1. Right-handed hitting first baseman fouls that off towards the third base Weyburn dugout. 1-1 the count. Mayencourt the runner at first with 1 away. According to the flags atop the scoreboard in right center field, the wind has picked up here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 1-1 pitch hit down the left field line. That'll be fair towards the corner. Mayencourt, as the ball hits to the fence, Mayencourt turning third, being waved for home, and he will score. Stopping at second with his second double of the afternoon, this one an RBI double, is Rob Gurney. Makes the score 12-2 now, as Gurney, the number 6 hitter for Weyburn, with his 7th RBI of the year. Just the 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Weyburn Beavers. They only had 2 hits in 5 innings against Michael Saul, who was pretty sharp this afternoon on the mound. This will be fouled off over top of the screen and into behind the third base bleachers. Strike 1 on shortstop Ryan Weaver, who's 0 for 1, hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, struck out against Saul in the 4th. Gurney, the runner at second, 1 away. It's fouled back onto the screen again. 0-2 the count. Owen Mayencourt is the on-deck hitter for Weyburn. The cry for pancakes coming here at the ballpark. Barry's pitchers have combined to strike out 6 in the game so far. And that is up high. 1-2 to Weaver. But those flags going the way they are, there's weather coming. How soon it gets here remains to be seen. 1-2 pitch, fouled off. This will be into the third base bleachers. 1-2 the count, and a young fan got the ball. He didn't catch it. He's got the glove. Didn't catch it. I think Mum took the foul ball. And the boy grabs it and says, "Thanks, Mum." 1-2 pitch is Down low, 2-2. Owen Mayencourt on deck, as mentioned. Weyburn catcher. 10-run deficit for Weyburn. Big hill to climb. Their 4-game winning streak on the line. 2-2. Popped up. Foul territory. And off the top of the Weyburn third base dugout. And a nice one-handed catch by a fan now in the third base bleachers. But the count holds at 2-2. You catch one off the hop, a lot of the zip is taken off the ball once it's hit something. 2-2 pitch. Inside, full count. The umpires in the crowd thought it was strike 3. Aaron Shavolt, the home plate umpire, disagrees. And he has the final say. Carter Kopp ready to go again. 3-2 pitch. Line drive up the middle base hit. Gurney had to wait to make sure the ball cleared the infield. And he'll advance only to third on the play. Back-to-back hits here for Weyburn. And it'll bring up Owen Mayencourt, the catcher. One away with runners on first and third for the Weyburn Beavers here in the top of the 6th inning. Mayencourt is 1 for 2. He singled and drove in the first Weyburn run back in the 2nd inning. First pitch swinging. That one gets through the left side of the infield into left field. 3 hits in a row and another run scores. Runners at first and second now with 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning. As Rob Gurney comes in to score to make it 12-3. Gunnar Ferguson, the second baseman, now up to the dish. 0 for 2, and Dustin Mulliken out to chat things over with Carter Kopp in the Barry's infield. Good to see Dustin still kicking around. Father Doug was here at the game yesterday. Had a chance to wave at him at the very least, which was good. Great sports family in Saskatchewan. The Mullikens. Dustin, of course, pitched in the major leagues with the Detroit Tigers a few years back. Carter Kopp to face left-handed hitting Gunnar Ferguson with 1 away here. First pitch outside, ball 1. Down the right field line, Dallin Rude starts to throw for the Berries. That's up high on Ferguson, 2-0. Gunnar Ferguson is not the tallest guy, 5'10", 175 in that left-hand batter's box. He'll take a strike there to make it 2-1. Top of the order, center fielder Hugh Montgomery on deck for Weyburn. Kopp comes to the stretch. And that's up high, 3-1. Dallin Rude warming up with some intensity down the right field line. Kopp ready to throw, 3-1. And that's low and away, ball 4. And now the bases are loaded for Weyburn here in the top of the 6th inning. They check down the right field line to see if Rude is ready to go. This may be one more batter for Kopp as he'll face Hugh Montgomery, who's 0 for 2 today, hit by a pitch last inning. Stole a base and was left on by Michael Saul. Carter Kopp's first pitch is in for a strike to Hugh Montgomery. One strike pitch. This is hit on the line and over top of the head of Josh Henson into right field, a base hit. Eric Aguirre fields it and 1 run in. Keeps the bases loaded. Ryan Weaver scores. And it's 12-4. And that's going to be it for Carter Kopp as Joe Carnahan makes the stroll out from the dugout to the pitcher's mound. RBI number 8 on the season for Hugh Montgomery as the score is now 12-4. And Dallin Rood will come into the ball game now for the Saskatoon Berries. Carter Kopp gets a ovation from the crowd here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. I don't know how much that long wait, because I think Kopp knew he was coming into the game for this half inning. But there was a long half inning before him coming in with the Berries at the dish, and that may have been a factor for him as Dallin Rood comes on. Another right-hander for the Berries. From Munster, Saskatchewan. He's coming off his sophomore year at Colby Community College in Colby, Kansas. For Dallin Rood, this will be his 3rd appearance of the season. He's pitched 4 innings and has a save. That was his last game. He pitched in. He got a save. Back on Thursday when the Berries beat the Moose Jaw Miller Express by a score of 7-4. Rood got the save that night. As far as more on Dallin Rood goes, in 4 innings, he's allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned. He has struck out 3, walked none, has a 2.25 earned run average. Dallin Rood will face Joe Medill, the left fielder, with 1 away and the bases loaded. On the ground, right back to Rood. He'll come home for 1. Throw on to first. In time, a 1-2-3 double play. 1 pitch to get 2 outs and get out of the inning. Nicely executed by the Saskatoon Berries. Doesn't score a run on the play. It is 3 runs for Weyburn in the top of the 6th inning. They did so with the benefit of 4 hits. There were no Berries errors and 2 runners left on base. After 5.5 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, it is the Saskatoon Berries 12 and the Weyburn Beavers 4. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archived game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
All right, some defensive changes for the Weyburn Beavers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Daxton Brown is into the game to play shortstop in place of Ryan Weaver. And a new pitcher on the mound is Jared Cramp, who's normally an infielder, a shortstop. We've seen him. This will be his first appearance as a pitcher, but with the score 12-4 in favor of the Berries, head coach Cam Williams might just be saving some arms here as he puts an infielder into pitch. And the first pitch to Nathan Houston is ball 1. Houston with a ground ball single into left field between the shortstop and third base. A leadoff single for the Berries in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll bring up Ethan Murdoch, who's 3 for 3. 3 runs batted in. Also walked, so he's been on base all 4 times that he's been to the plate today. Houston is 2 for 4 today. Called strike on Murdoch. First pitch from Cramp. Line drive into right field. This will split the outfielders and get all the way to the fence. Houston heading for third, getting the way for home. He will score and make it 13-4 as Ethan Murdoch is 4 for 4 with 4 RBI this afternoon. And it'll bring up Josh Henson. Henson 1 for 3 today. Scored a run in the 5th inning. Part of the 7-run Berries 5th. Henson drove in a run that inning as well with his single. Jared Cramp's first pitch looked like a breaking ball down low, ball 1. As I mentioned, Cramp normally a shortstop or a middle infielder. He's from St. Clair, Michigan. Attends McPherson College in Kansas. 6'2", 185. Into pitch. Pitch down low to Henson. 2-0 the count. Ethan Murdoch on second base with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jared Cramp's fastball and swing and a miss by Henson, 2-1. Henson has to get himself recalibrated. The previous pitchers for the Berries, or for Weyburn all day today, have all thrown minimal velocity compared to what Cramp just threw there. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball inside. Stayed there, 3-1. Brock Laird, shortstop on deck for the Saskatoon Berries. That one's at the knees on the outside corner. Henson was starting to make his way to first base thinking he had a walk, but it's now a full count on the Berries first baseman. Cramp checks on Murdoch at second. 3-2 pitch is fouled up the third baseline. The count holds at 3-2. Temperatures dropped a couple of degrees down to 19 Celsius, 66 Fahrenheit. The wind out of the west now at 37 kilometers per hour, so it's freshened up a fair amount. It's around 25 miles an hour. Bouncing ball to the left side, gets under the glove of Mayencourt, fielded by the shortstop, and they won't get Henson in time. Base hit for Josh Henson on the play. Murdoch held his position at second. So Brock Laird now, 1 for 2 on the day with a run scored. He's been hit by a pitch and walked. Last night's game-winning run scorer in the bottom of the 9th in a 3-2 victory for the Berries over Regina. Pitch down and away, ball 1 to Laird. 9-run Saskatoon lead. Unlike a lot of their more recent games, previous 6, Berries have been involved in 5 one-run games. That pitch inside, 2-0 to Brock Laird. Eric Aguirre is on deck. Well hit to left field, down the line in the corner, and that is not caught. And it's a foul ball as well. That was pretty close to being on the line. Now, Ethan Murdoch over at second base conferring with the third base umpire. That was a foul ball. The count is 2-1. Laird got a good piece of that, but long run for the left fielder Medill, and he couldn't quite come up with the catch in foul territory. So it's 2-1 now, the count on Laird. Bounces in off the mask of Owen Mayencourt. He'll track it down, and the runners hold their spots. Murdoch at second, Henson at first. Here's the 3-1 pitch upcoming. High for ball. No, they're calling that a strike. Laird was starting to walk. I thought he had walked. But that delayed call from the home plate umpire, Aaron Shavolt, means we have a full count. So 3-2 with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cramps pitch. Laird lets a fly ball to center field. Going back, stopping short of the warning track is Hugh Montgomery. Murdoch tags, comes to third as the throw goes into second base. So 1 away. And Eric Aguirre coming to the plate. Aguirre has had a good game here today. 2 for 4. His last 2 at-bats have been productive. Single that drove in a run in the 4th inning, and a bases clearing double last inning. 4 RBI for Eric Aguirre. Fouls the first pitch off, and that's going to be out of play. It was heading towards the Weyburn bus, which is parked in behind the fence. Strike 1 there. Don't think it got out of the park itself. It hit the bus. Ooh, here's a shot towards third. Mayencourt up with it. Long throw across the diamond. Unable to field it is Rob Gurney at first base. Murdoch in to score. Aguirre around to second. And over to third base is Josh Henson. And Aiden Marion, the catcher, coming up. It's a throwing error on Braden Mayencourt, who had a tough day at third base. Murdoch comes in to score on the play. Second and third. As Jared Cramp's first pitch to Aiden Marion, the Berries catcher, is outside, ball 1. Attendance for this afternoon, 1,393 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Berries up by 10. Marion checks swing. They go for an appeal, and first base umpire Matt Schul, who's in behind the pitcher, says no swing. So ball 2, 2-0 on the Saskatoon catcher, who scored a pair of runs today but has not gotten a hit. Breaking pitch from Jared Cramp in for a strike, 2-1. Marion officially 0 for 2, but he's walked and hit by a pitch. He has a couple of stolen bases for a catcher and a couple of runs scored. Bounces in, 3-1. Good block by Owen Mayencourt, the catcher. Josh Henson at third, Eric Aguirre at second. Barry's number 7 hitter, Aiden Marion, at the plate with one away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cramp sets, throws, swing and a miss. Strike 2, full count now on Aiden Marion. Marion will take a stroll. Back into the right-hand batter's box to face the middle infielder turned pitcher of this occasion. Right back to Cramp. He'll make the stab and throw on to first as he looked Josh Henson sort of back to the bag at third. He might have had a play with the third baseman, Mayencourt, in position. Actually, it's not even Mayencourt anymore. There's a new third baseman into the game for Weyburn. That's Hanson Eli playing at third base now in place of Braden Mayencourt. And now they'll come out and check on Jared Cramp and actually take the ball and bring in a new pitcher. So a pitching change here with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Weyburn Beavers. In a 14-4 ball game, and coming on to pitch will be Colt Sussex Uphold, the designated hitter. So the DH is out of the game now. He's now pitching for the Weyburn Beavers. This is the 6th different pitcher for the Beavers this afternoon. He's a right-hander, as Colt Uphold Sussex. Let's see if he's thrown. He hasn't pitched yet this season. Again, a guy that listed on their roster as an outfielder, but with a 10-run deficit in the bottom of the 6th inning, you're saving pitching arms, period, if you're Cam Williams, the head coach of the Weyburn Beavers. Just get a few outs and move on to the next game. For Weyburn, that next game will be on Tuesday when they visit the Regina Red Sox. For the Berries, that will also be their next game, is Tuesday night back here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, starting a 2-game series Tuesday and Wednesday against the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Game time for both those nights will be 7 o'clock. Colt Uphold Sussex with his warm-up pitches. He's 6'2", 205, a right-handed thrower. Calls Rio Rancho, New Mexico home and went to college at McPherson College in Kansas. He'll face Nick Cote now, who's 1 for 3 today. Singled, walked his last time up. Part of the 12 men who went to the plate in the 7-run 5th inning for the Berries. 2 out, runners on second and third for Cote. And the first pitch from Uphold Sussex is in for a strike. Couple of runs on 3 hits and an error here in this inning for the Berries. Breaking ball down low, 1-1. Nash Nichols is on deck. Fastball down low, good block by Owen Mayencourt, 2-1. Two-one pitch coming to Nick Cote. Change up down low, 3-1. The outfielder becoming pitcher. 3-1 pitch. Cote on the ground. Shortstop up with it. The long throw by Daxton Brown in time, and the inning is over. For the Berries, in the bottom of the 6th inning, they scored 2 runs on 3 hits. There was one Weyburn error and 2 runners left on base. After 6 complete, it is Saskatoon 14 and Weyburn 4. As you're watching Barrie's baseball on FloCollege. Top of the 7th inning upcoming here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Dallin Rood, who took over from Carter Kopp, third Barrie's pitcher of the afternoon. And his first pitch is a strike to the Barrie's, or to Weyburn's, I should say. Number 3 hitter Austin Boylan. Then he bounces a pitch in for ball 1, 1-1. Quickly look at the unofficial line score for Saskatoon: 14 runs on 14 hits, no errors. They've left 10 runners on base. Weyburn 4 runs, 6 hits. They've committed 4 errors and they've left 7 on base. That pitch was down low, bounced away to the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike on the number 3 hitter in the Weyburn lineup tonight, Austin Boylan, for this afternoon, I should say. It's still only 3:30. Not quite. Boylan 0 for 2 with a walk today. Dallin Rood, 2-1 pitch. And that's outside, 3-1. The pancake people are waiting. Boylan, it's this one on the ground. Big high hop. Nathan Houston up with it. Throws it on to first in time. Boylan thought he had beat it out as Houston took his time, making sure he had righted himself. But first base umpire Matt Schul, the crew chief, did not agree. 1 away here in the top of the 7th. And the new third baseman into the game for the first time to hit. There's a strike 1 on third baseman Eli Hansen. Inside from Rood to Hansen, ball 1. Eli Hansen taking over in the field last time up. He'll pop this one up into the screen, out of play, 1-2 the count. Eli Hansen is making his 5th appearance in a game for Weyburn. He's 0 for 6. He'll wave at that one and be a strikeout victim. And that is 7 strikeouts in the afternoon for Saskatoon pitching, and everybody in attendance gets themselves some pancakes from a local establishment. Hansen now 0 for 7 on the season with 4 strikeouts. And now the pitcher, Colt Uphold Sussex. He's 0 for 3 and looks at a strike. 0 for 3, struck out his last time up against Carter Kopp. Rood quickly again to the plate, 1-1 just outside. Rood works quickly. Sussex fouls that off over the first base bleachers and towards Bob Van Imp Softball Stadium off to my right. 1-2 the count. Rood again delivers. Called strike 3. And that ends the top of the 7th inning. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no Barry's errors, nobody left on base after 6.5. Heading to the 7th inning stretch, it is Saskatoon 14 and Weyburn 4 as you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Defensive change for the Weyburn Beavers here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Down in right field is WCBL, playing in right field in place of Austin Boylan, and will bat in the number 3 spot in the order. I think that's the only other change made. I haven't seen left field where Joe Medill has been, and I think he is still there. Colt Uphold Sussex continues to pitch for the Beavers here. And his first pitch to Nash Nichols is a strike. Nichols 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. Hit a solo home run in the 5th inning. Singled and drove in a run in his second appearance in the 5th inning. And he's now down 0-2 in the count. He'll hit this one in the air, straight away center field. Going back is Hugh Montgomery, and he'll make the catch right at the edge of the warning track. Nichols put a good charge into that one. One away. Giles Salinas, the DH, coming up. He's 0 for 5 this afternoon. Only Salinas and Aiden Marion, the catcher, do not have a hit for the Berries this afternoon out of their 14 hits in the game. Down low with the first pitch from Uphold Sussex to Giles Salinas for a ball. Back he comes with a pitch. Salinas hits this one into left field. That'll go off the wall in left field. Throw into second base. Salinas digging for 2. He'll be in there standing up as Joe Medill is in left field and got that ball nicely off the fence. But now Salinas is on the hit parade, 1 for 6 with the Berries' 15th hit of the afternoon. It'll bring up Nathan Houston, who's had a good afternoon. Pretty much all the Berries have had a good afternoon at the plate here today. Couple of hits for Nathan, 2 for 4. He's also scored 3 runs and been hit by a pitch. Line drive over the head of the shortstop, Daxton Brown, into left center field. Salinas around third will come in to score and make it 15-4. And now Ethan Murdoch coming to the plate, who's 4 for 4 this afternoon. An RBI for Nathan Houston. That'll be his second of the season. Murdoch is 4 for 4 with a walk. And 4 runs batted in. First pitch inside, ball 1. Three runs scored for Ethan Murdoch. 3 singles and a double. This one's popped up. Shallow center field. Going back, making the catch is Daxton Brown. That's his first out of the inning, and the first time today that Murdoch has been held off the bases. Murdoch with 4 runs batted in today. Josh Henson now singled his last 2 times up. Hasn't run batted in. Uphold Sussex with a breaking pitch in for a strike. Henson 2 for 4 with a walk, has scored a run. Runner at first is Nathan Houston. Henson back up the middle. Second baseman with it. Flipped to short for the out. And that ends the inning. For the Berries in the bottom of the 7th inning, they scored a run on 2 hits. There were no Weyburn errors and nobody left on base. After 7, it is 15-4 Saskatoon over Weyburn. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, top of the 8th inning. The mercy rule in the Western Canadian Baseball League could come into effect here. The Berries with an 11-run lead. If they are no worse than 10 runs up after this half inning is done, the game is over. Tyler Bailey is in to pitch. 4th pitcher of the afternoon for the Berries. His first pitch is up high to Rob Gurney, ball 1. Gurney is 2 for 2 today. 2 doubles, drove in a run, walked as well. In there for a strike, 1-1. Tyler Bailey, right-hander in to pitch for the Berries. He started game 1 of the season back in Weyburn. Way back, well, not a way back, but back on May 28th. It's his second appearance as he gets a strike in there, and it's 1-2. Daxton Brown, the shortstop. Owen Mayencourt, the catcher, due up this half inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout for Tyler Bailey. Bailey in that one start pitched an inning, gave up 2 hits, 4 runs all earned, struck out 2 and walked 5. Looking to redeem himself a bit, coming off his junior year at Arizona Christian University. 6'2", 190-pound product of Gilbert, Arizona. A strike thrown to Daxton Brown. Brown up for the first time after replacing Ryan Weaver in the game at shortstop. Pitch up high and in, ball 1, 1-1. Brown in his 4th game of the season, 1 for 8, 125 average, has scored a couple of runs. Daxton Brown from Oxbow, Saskatchewan, not far from Weyburn. High with a breaking pitch, looked like a slider, 2-1. Daxton Brown attends North Dakota State College of Science. Inside, 3-1. Now the count on Brown. As does the new third baseman in the game for Weyburn, Eli Hansen, who's from Weyburn himself. Tyler Bailey shakes off a pitch, now comes in with a fastball that's in there for a strike and a full count to Daxton Brown. Owen Mayencourt is on deck. Mayencourt is 2 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in for Weyburn this afternoon. 3-2 pitch, fouled off up the first baseline. Brown stays alive. 1,393 on hand here this afternoon. Game that's coming up on 2 hours, 45 minutes of duration. Could be done here if the Berries get out of the inning. Brown chops this one up the third baseline, foul. Stays alive with a full count. Making Tyler Bailey throw a few pitches. That might not be such a bad thing for Bailey to get a few pitches in, so long as it doesn't mean giving up a couple of runs and keeping this game going. Another full count pitch upcoming. 3-2. Hit back through the middle. Onto it is the shortstop Laird to first in time for the second out. Slow roller that got past the pitcher Bailey, who was falling off to the first base side with his follow through. Couldn't recover, but Brock Laird's a pretty good glove at shortstop. Charged and made the nice crossbody throw. And brings up Owen Mayencourt. Barry's looking for a win to get to 7-2. And there's a strike on the inside corner to Owen Mayencourt with a fastball. Barry's with a victory could move 2.5 games ahead of Weyburn in the standings. That ball in the dirt off the plate, actually. Ball 1, 1-1. Gunnar Ferguson is the on-deck hitter. Fouled off at the plate by Owen Mayencourt, 1-2. Barry's down to their last strike. Potentially. Tyler Bailey, 1-2 pitch, and that's outside. Good take by Owen Mayencourt, 2-2 the count. There's those deuces wild up on the top of the scoreboard again, the top line here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tyler Bailey's pitch, up and in. Mayencourt able to duck out of the way. Full count. Weyburn opened the scoring in the second inning. The Berries have scored in every half inning, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 since then, to go up 15-4. 7 runs in the 5th being the big decisive inning. And down low, ball 4 with a breaking pitch. And Mayencourt draws a walk, and it'll bring up the second baseman Gunnar Ferguson for a 4th plate appearance of the day. 0 for 2 with a walk. Hugh Montgomery, the center fielder, on deck. Bailey's first pitch fought off by Ferguson. Foul just into the area just in front of the patio down the third base line. Strike one in amongst where fans are standing. That's general admission for standing down the baselines. On the outside corner, 2 strikes now on Gunnar Ferguson. Again, down to the final strike for the Beavers. Tyler Bailey looking to finish it up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's the ball game. For the Weyburn Beavers in the bottom or in the top of the 8th inning, no runs, no hits, no Barry's errors, and 1 runner left on base. Because of the mercy rule, 10 runs or more after 8 innings, the Berries haven't hit in the bottom of the 8th. They don't have to. They have an 11-run lead, and that's the ball game. So your final this afternoon, as the Saskatoon Berries make it 2 straight at home on the weekend and end the Weyburn Beavers 4-game winning streak. The Saskatoon Berries 15 and the Weyburn Beavers 4. We'll be back with the wrap-up to the ball game coming up as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, back here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field to wrap things up. The Saskatoon Berries defeat the Weyburn Beavers by a score of 15-4. Your final line score unofficially for the Berries, 15 runs on 16 hits. They did not commit an error, and they left 10 runners on base. For the Beavers, 4 runs on 6 hits. They committed 4 errors. They left 8 runners on base. Starting pitcher Michael Saul is the winner for the Berries today. He's 1-0. The losing pitcher is the second pitcher for Weyburn today, that being Keaton Husband. His record drops to 0-1 on the year. For the Berries, that is their 7th win. Sorry, Keaton Husband is 0-2 on the season, both the losses against Saskatoon. For the Berries, the victory improves their record to 7-2, their East Division leading record. 2 straight wins on the weekend, and they're 4-1 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. For the Beavers, their record now 4 wins and 4 losses. We'll see what their standing is depending on other games around the league today, but their 4-game winning streak comes to an end, and they're 2-2 on the road this year. Attendance today, 1,393, a game that took 2 hours and 46 minutes to play. Saskatoon 15, Weyburn 4. Next action for the Berries coming up on Tuesday night, June the 9th, when they'll play host to the Medicine Hat Mavericks. They'll also play the Mavericks on Wednesday night here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 7 o'clock game time both nights. We look forward to talking with you back then on Tuesday. Next action here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field for the Berries and the Medicine Hat Mavericks at 7 o'clock. Until then, on behalf of all the folks involved with Flow Sports, FloCollege, all the gang here with the Saskatoon Entertainment Group and the Saskatoon Berries, my wife Verna Lazaruk, who is my producer, on behalf of all those folks,